YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to y'all with some instant analysis for the Bucks versus Bulls game. They usually play in preseason, and they ended up playing today. We're gonna talk how the Bucks was able to win 111 to 107, and Daylon Terry was a guy that really helped the Bulls out. He had shot 16% from the field, but he did have 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and 2 points, and 1 block and 1 turnover. He was a -5 and plus minus. Julian Phillips was also a guy that helped them tonight for the Bulls stay in the game a little bit. 10 points, 2 personal fouls. He did have 2 rebounds. He did shoot 4 attempts that he made and 9 that he missed. 9 field goal attempts total. He made 4 of them, and he also was able to make 2 out of 6 attempts from the 3 point range. Adama Sanago, he was able to shoot 60% from the field. He had 10 field goal attempts and he made 6 of them, and he was 1 of 2 from the 3 point line. 75% from the free throw line, 3 of 4. He had 15 rebounds and he did get 16 points also, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers. He was a huge difference maker for them, even though he had a -10 and plus minus also. He did play 32 minutes, so he was a real good factor of what they needed to have in order to stay within this game. And the Bulls led a lot of this game for the most part, and then they ended up losing and really couldn't get back in. Bit Tim, he had 9 field goal attempts and he only made 2 of them, and he shot 6 3-point attempts, only made 1 of them. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, 5 points, -17 and plus minus. Josh Giddey looked athletic and very quick with his decision making today when it came to offense. He had four attempts that he made and 9 attempts total, and he was also 3 of 4 from the 3 point line. He was able to make all his free throws 100%, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, 2 turnovers, 1 personal foul, 12 points, -14 and plus minus. This is a really solid game from him. Was able to get guys some open shots. Was able to get to the paint. Was able to get a nice dunk in there too. Chris Duarte played 19 minutes. He was 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 6 from the 3 point line. He did have also 1 assist, 1 block, 2 personal fouls, 10 points, 7 +7 and plus minus. Kenneth Lofton was a guy that played 15 minutes. He was 1 of 3 from the field, 1 of 3 from the 3 point line because it was his only attempts. But he did get to the free throw line and he made 4 of 4. Also had 8 rebounds, which was the biggest part of his game today that really did well. 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, 7 points, +6 and plus minus. EJ Liddell was 1 of 4 from the field, 1 of 4 from three, which is his only field goal attempts, but he did shoot 4 free throws and made 3 of them. He had 6 rebounds also, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls, 6 points. He had +2 and plus minus. Matas Bazelis looks really good to me. He didn't really make a lot of crazy shots. He took some tough ones and he made some tough ones, but he was 5 of 13 from the field and 3 of 9 from three, which is okay, but it's still good to see that he's confident in his ability to score the basketball, which, like I said, a lot of guys didn't play today, so it's good to see him, show that he can create his own shot, get to the paint, be able to get out in transition, which he has done well so far, and just being able to have other things to do offensively is something that I want to continue to see him do throughout his career. 2 of 3 from the 3 point line, 66%. From the free throw line, so he didn't really shoot even that well from the free throw. He could have made all 3 of them, but he missed one. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 6 personal fouls. Really was scattered defensively and really was getting beat off the dribble a lot, which I kind of expected. 15 points, five +5 and plus minus. Most rookies usually go through that. DJ Stewart, 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 3 from the 3 point line, 1 rebound, 4 assists, 1 steal, 7 points, +5 and plus minus. And Taylor Horton Tucker really was giving it to the Bucks as the game was ending in that fourth quarter. 4 of 10 from the field, 40%, 2 of 5 from 3, 40%. Made him to keep the game in a close type of way. He also was able to get to the free throw line, 5 of 7 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 1 personal foul, 15 points plus 1 and plus minus. And Javon Carter made 1 shot and he missed, 5 of them, 0 of 3 from the 3-point line. 3 steals for him. He's always a pesky defender, always finds a way to get the ball in his hands defensively. 1 turnover, 2 points, 5 in plus minus. Lonzo Ball and guys like Zach LaVine and Vucevic didn't play. Even Kobe White and Patrick Williams. The team shot 38% from the field, 31% from 3, 75% from the free throw line as a team. They also ended up having downs as a team, and they also was able to get 25 assists, 9 steals, 6 blocks, and they did have 14 turnovers as a team, and they also had 23 personal fouls as a team, and they really let their bench shine a lot throughout this game. But the Bucks, they came ready to play, and they really, gave Giannis and Dame and these guys a lot of opportunities. Remember, Middleton is still injured, so he's not going to play in preseason. He's not medically cleared. Taurean Prince was 1 or 2 from the field, and he also attempted 1 or 2 was from the 3-point line. Was all his field goal attempts. He didn't get to the free throw line. He had 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 personal fouls, 3 points, and was a plus 12 and plus minus. Giannis was able to shoot 6 of 13. That's a little low from the field goal percentage, 46%. He usually 50 or above. They was able to slow him down, was able to get in front of him, was able to let him take some shots that he really didn't want to make or take, but he had to, and it just didn't fall tonight. He was 12 of 16 from the free throw line, 75%. He did get 10 rebounds, 4 of them was offensive. He had 4 assists, 1 turnover, 4 personal fouls, but he did end up with 24 points and 10 plus 10 and plus minus. Brook Lopez was 4 or 5 from the field, 2 or 3 from the 3-point line, knocked down his 1 free throw. He had 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 blocks, 3 personal fouls, 11 points, and was a plus 15 and plus minus. And Gary Trent was 4 of 11. He didn't shoot the ball well tonight, even from 3. He was 2 of 6. 2 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, 10 points, and plus 14 and plus minus. And Damian Lillard was able to hit some big shots even in the fourth quarter, which was crazy that he played 27 minutes tonight. But he was 6 of 10, really shot well tonight, 2 of 6 from the 3-point line, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds and also 9 assists, which was good to see him showing that he can really set these guys up for easy opportunities instead of always going for the jump shot or the score in the pick and roll or even just in general. 2 steals, 1 block, 2 turnovers, 20 points, and plus 13 and plus minus. And Bobby Portis continues to be one of the best bench players in the game, if not the best. 5 of 8 from the field, 62%. He did attempt 1 3 and didn't make it. 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 personal foul, 10 points, plus, negative 10 and plus minus for him. DeLon Wright, 11 minutes. Didn't really do much. Didn't really even take an attempt from the free throw line or from 3 or from the field in general. And he was a negative 7 and plus minus. Pat Connaughton played 15 minutes. He was 2 of 6 from the field. He was 2 of 5 from 3, which is decent. Really above average, I would say. Even though he didn't attempt that many. 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 personal foul, and 6 points, negative 5 and plus minus. AJ Johnson, he was 2 of 15, 13%. He was aggressive looking for a shot. Just couldn't get anything really to go, even from the 3-point line where he was 0 of 5. He was also 2 of 3 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 turnovers, 1 personal foul, 6 points, negative 9 and plus minus. Tyler Smith was 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 3 from the 3-point line, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He did have 4 rebounds and 1 block, 2 points tonight. and Liam Robbins, 101 from the field. He only took one shot and made it. He had one rebound, one assist, two turnovers, three personal fouls, 2 points negative, three and plus minus. Marjan Beauchamp, 2 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from three, zeros across the board outside of having two steals and one turnover, 4 points negative, three and plus minus. And AJ Green was a guy that was 101 from the field, which was a three, which he did make 3 of 3 from the free throw line. He also had one assist, two rebounds, 6 points, negative, three and plus minus. Andre Jackson Jr., 1 of 2 from the field, one made three, and he didn't get no free throw attempts, three rebounds, three turnovers, 3 points, negative, three and plus minus. And this other guy, and just Paskinitz, I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry if I brutaled it when I'm trying to say it, but 2 or 3 from the field. He had 5 rebounds. He also had 2 steals, 4 personal fouls, 4 turnovers, and -1 and plus minus. And that's really it for the Bucks. They did shoot 43 from the field, 32% from three, 37 of 86 from the field, 11 of 34 from three. They also was 26 of 34 from the free throw line. They also had 54 rebounds total, 24 assists, 12 steals, 6 blocks, 14 turnovers, and 22 personal fouls. But they ended up with 111 points, which was good enough to beat the bench mob of the Chicago Bulls. This game, honestly, was closer than you want it to be. If you're a Bucks fan, this is not the performance you want to see them have, especially with Giannis and Dame playing a lot of minutes for a preseason game. It shows you that they really wanted to get a groove going, get a feel going, and wanting Dame and Giannis to play more together because we haven't really seen it enough, honestly, for them to be a championship conversation as a contender. But when you have that much talent, you always got to see it out, see what happens, see what fits and what doesn't fit. It's going to be interesting to see what John Horst chooses to do with this duo, as they've really been playing decent. They haven't been dominant. They haven't really been, great defensively. Obviously, we knew that might be a problem because Dame never been a great defender, and he hasn't really fit crazy. You think Giannis with a shooter would be a perfect fit, especially when you add guys like DeLon Wright and Gary Trent Jr. that can get their own shot and play off the ball. But this team just looked like a great team. They don't look like a championship team. They just look like they can do the basics. They can have a guy that can take over a game and another guy that can help with that. They have multiple closers with Dame and Middleton if they're both healthy. And you would think that plus a decent bench would make them a crazy team defensively and offensively, depending on who's out there. But this team just they look better than average, but they don't really look like they can beat the Celtics or other teams in the league. That's why the conversation hasn't really been favoring them, throughout the year. Even though when people seen that Dame trade happen, they were jumping on the bandwagon saying this is going to be a championship team. They might be the best team in the East, and it never really materialized into that. And it's looking more of the same. I'm looking at them in preseason, even though it's a small sample size, only 5 games. I'm looking at it like, well, the Bucks, they look respectable, but they don't look scary. They don't look dominant. They don't look like they're a team that you should fear. And they call it fear the deer, but I don't really see that this year. No pun intended, but it's fun watching them play. I watch a lot of Bucks games. I be at a lot of Bucks games, and they do play the Celtics November 10th. I'll be at that game, hopefully. But I'm looking at the Bucks like, well, this is not really something to be proud of. You wanted to get some wins in preseason. You wanted to get some reps up in preseason. And this is a game where the Bulls are like, well, we ain't got nothing to gain. We ain't got nothing to lose. We're not really a team that's trying to make the playoffs guaranteed. They're going to be in the play-in tournament conversation at the end of the day, probably. And they know that they're going in a retooling direction. Do they want to keep Zach LaVine? Do they want to keep Lonzo Ball? Do they want them to play a little bit to build up their value, build up so they can get something good, significant in return? Is what the Bulls are trying to do, while the Bucks are trying to find a way to get back to that championship level. Is the purpose of making that Damian Lillard trade, because they thought that'd be the ideal fit point guard to fit around Lopez, Middleton, and Giannis, and it looks good enough to where you can see them winning 50 games again, even though they only won 49 last year, but Giannis wasn't healthy. But if he was, they definitely get over the 50. But I don't know how to feel about that because this is a team that just won a championship in 2021. So it's crazy how much things have changed that fast and how this roster continues to change that fast, even though they did look sometimes dominant, especially defensively under Mike Budenholzer. And they've been getting a lot of criticism for the guy that they had last year and Doc Rivers, and they feel like that's what's holding them back. But who's really out there that can really make a huge difference as a coach? I feel like Doc was probably the best one they can get when it comes to championship caliber coach, even though you're judging him mostly on his past. But then again, you didn't really like Griffin. So you really do gotta look at it like the Bucks are in that middle where they might be getting absolutely nowhere. Um, but they're going to get to the playoffs, and it's going to be fun to see what they can do. The fans still going to be excited, but this is one of them years where I guess you're going to be okay. You're going to be doing enough to be respected. You still going to have a guy that can take over a game and the guys that can put you in great position to win games, even if they're close, like we even seen in the playoffs last year. But that was a first round exit 2 years ago. They lose to Miami. That was a first round exit. Plus, they got to rely a lot on Giannis to get them over that hump. And he's been injured because he had to carry that load, which was the purpose of trying to give him Dame to try to take some of that load off. But Middleton can't stay healthy either. So we also got to remember that Brook Lopez is coming off a back injury, and he's a guy that's already getting slower, and he's not a great rebounder, but he is a great rim protector. Still, I give him credit on that, and he showed that tonight. But if I'm a Bucks fan, I don't really know what to think. Besides, we ain't winning it this year, and it's mainly because the Celtics are that good, and the Knicks are trying to rival that, and the Bucks did the best they could to put them in the best position they felt they can get into, but it hasn't really turned out as well as they would hope. And I think the Bucks fans are starting to see that, and they're starting to accept that early on this year, just based off the last 2 years and seeing them be a first round exit, which is unfortunate because it shows you how fast things can change, and you gotta really appreciate those moments when you are at the top, just because they come few and far between, which is unfortunate, but it's just how the world works, just how the NBA works. If you're not getting better and you're not putting the best talent on your roster to try to succeed, then you're getting passed up by somebody else every offseason, every trade deadline, every buyout. Somebody is trying to make that move so it's their turn to be champions. And we have never seen the repeat since the Warriors. We done seen the Lakers, the Raptors, the Bucks, the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Celtics all win, and nobody's really repeating, even though the Celtics are the favorite. And it just shows you that the Bucks maybe are just gonna have to deal with. We got Giannis. We don't want to trade him. We rather be in the playoffs competing for a chance to win than to be rebuilding to get a guy that we don't even know we can win with when we know we can do it with Giannis. And they might just ride this out as long as they can, which makes sense because Giannis is in his 30s, and he gave the best he could the last 2 years, averaging 30 and 10 plus. And that's what he's supposed to do as a franchise player. He's been doing his end, and I feel like his teammates been doing the best they can. It's just teams and organizations have built better rosters, and they're having more success, and the Bucks are behind. Now they got to either catch up or just be cool with being in the middle for a couple of years. And as a person that grew up in Wisconsin and watching Bucks games, we always been just a playoff team, never really in that conversation to win the championship. And the Bucks might be that the next 2 to 3 years if they don't make another move that can really push them back up to where the Celtics and the Knicks are at when it comes to the best of the East. But that's just the truth. Just want to have a little convo. As I hear what the Bucks fans saying. Obviously, I live in Wisconsin, so of course I'm going to hear it. And especially with me being a Celtics fan, and our best players are not even 30, they got a couple more years before they reach that. And they already went to the finals in 2022 against the Warriors, and we already played in 2024 and won the championship, and we already supposed to be repeating. It's just a different conversation that I'm having because the Bucks are a team that you thought can get to the top and possibly get another one. Now nobody's really looking at it that way, and it's just crazy how fast that went. But at least they got it done. At least they brought a championship back, and as long as they got Giannis, they got a shot. You know, you never know how matchups go. You never know what goes with injuries. You just got to be able to get in and have confidence that you can figure it out depending on who you get. And that's what you got to do regardless. So maybe it's a coaching change. Maybe it's another personnel change. But you can't waste these next 2 to 3 years of Giannis' prime doing absolutely nothing to win the title. But I met Peter Fagan and those guys at Summer League, so I know they're going to figure out something. I know they're not just going to submit to it. And why would you when you have a player of the caliber of Giannis? Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis. And if you love these type of videos and breakdowns and tributes to legends, and you love conversations about basketball, this is the channel for you, especially if you love NBA basketball. And if you already been to subscribe, don't forget to check the older videos that you might been too busy or you might miss, because I do upload a lot throughout the day, throughout the year, throughout the months. And thanks for watching and still being able to support the channel to the best of your ability. Don't forget to like and share, like I said, because it keeps the channel popular, keeps the channel popping. And I thank the people that do. And I'll see you guys later.